Polarity by Edward Clarence Farnsworth. This piece is from The Deeper Mysteries, published 1921. In pages 201 to 2 of The Heart of Things, it is in substance stated that the concentrated spiritual will or Atma of the Jovian beings allows them to penetrate knowingly only to the densest division of the Marsic plane of the Venusian evolution. Again on page 222 it is said that upon this earth, a planet of 7 principles, human spiritual will is necessarily circumscribed both in knowledge and power until the lower principles of man, personal will especially, have been harmonized with it. In seeming contradiction to these statements, the contents of those preceding chapters, Time and Eternity and the Secret of Karma, reveal the operations of spiritual will on all planes of the world, and in every human principle. Supplementing the statements on pages 201 to 2 of The Heart of Things, let us say that while the Jovian humanity contacts and aids the spiritual will of every planet, and its every being in the Septary series, and even in the Tiri scheme, the Mercurians contact and aid the Buddhic principle in every lower planet, and its every devolving life. The Venusians contact and aid the Marsic principle in every lower planet, and its progeny. The Saturnian humanity performs its peculiar office to the lower manas of all in every humbler planet. The Martian humanity aids the Kamic principle in every lower planet, and its every life. Also the lunar hierarchy is an aid to every manifestation of the personal will principle in all planets below. As for our Earth, already many among us recognize the brotherly tide binding man to the lower species, those which yet shall pass to their respective planets, there to form that connecting link because of which our humanity can aid the basic physical evolution of Uranus, Neptune, and the planet beyond. Because of this universal contact and mutual aid, spiritual will becomes increasingly active on every plane, throughout the solar system. Owing to the contact of Atma and Buddhi on Mercury, the duad there is wholly unified. So also is the trinity of Atma, Buddhi, Manas, on Venus. This trinity is conjoined in every other planet in the descending series, but always in a less and less perfect manner. In the fourfold Saturn evolution we discover the first pair of opposites existing among the principles which in the lower planets are increased to 7, and even to 10. Because of the nearly unified Saturnian trinity of Atma, Buddhi, Manas, and especially because of the affinity of Manas for lower Manas, its negative pole, the humanity of the green planet has developed intellectually, not however to the pure intelligence of the Venusian beings, but, as compensation, to a mental grasp of many matters quite outside the purview of their lofty brethren. In the fivefold Martian evolution we discover 2 pair of opposites, to wit, higher and lower Manas, and Buddhi Karma. Because of these polar opposites, the Martians have developed intellectually, but even more so in respect to the transforming of desire, their basic principle. While not approaching the pure love proper to the Mercurians, these have as compensation that compassion which comes only through triumph over the passional nature. The finished 6-fold moon evolution gave to the lunar fathers 3 pairs of opposites, to wit, higher and lower Manas, Buddhi Karma, and spiritual and personal will. Because of the affinity of spiritual will for personal will, the basic principle of the lunar scheme, evolution in that scheme was wonderfully quickened, and so brought to consummation ages ago. The personal will of the perfected lunar hierarchy is by no means the equal of spiritual will, but, as compensation, it reaches down and is capable in the very abysm of matter. Hence the lunar Jehovah is said to have created the world over which he in fact presided as regent until the rightful ruler came into his own. The humanity of this world has 4 principles, 3 pairs of opposites like those of the lunar scheme, and, besides, a negative physical principle peculiar to this planet, a principle having its positive pole in the 7th hierarchy of the Logos, those beings who well high transcend human conception. Fortunately that Logos has given to us a way shower, one who exemplified by his resurrection the possibilities latent in the human physical. The dominant principle of any planet is negative to the solar source of that principle, but positive to its correspondent in every lower planet. Hence man's physical principle is positive to its correspondent in each of the three outer planets. A more material principle, peculiar to Neptune, is negative to its solar source, but positive to its correspondent on Uranus and the outmost planet. Again, a yet more material principle proper to Uranus is negative to its solar source, but positive only to its correspondent on the outmost planet. Finally, a material principle, the densest transmutable in the Thierry system, is evolving on the outmost planet. While negative to the 10th solar hierarchy, that principle is positive to its corresponding principle on the outmost planet of a solar system 1 degree below our own. See chapter, The Chain of Suns, page 189 of The Heart of Things. In the stupendous descent from the spiritual and positive pole of the universe to its material and negative opposite, man's position is indeed a humble one, but, as compensation, his environment demands the expansion of faculties whose like is useless and so unknown in many abodes of loftier being. The human physical body necessarily is more complex than any other yet evolved in any other world ruled by our solar Logos. Moreover, the human physical brain will yet compass that amazing variety which thus far the manifested assumes only on this planet, and which necessarily is outside the purview of many beings seemingly more gifted than man. Nor could it be otherwise in a universe expanded from the spiritual point to a material circle bounding more than ever the telescope can reveal. The manifested universe tends towards permanence in all its parts, and while it is undeniable that the circumference of the cosmic circle shall be drawn toward the central point, it is not true that into that circumference shall disappear in the unknowable. One can conceive of a time when durability shall be stamped on the transformed negative pole of creation. But even in those remote eons to be, a new negative pole may exist in what now is the unexplored abysm of space,